Prime here, back in another custom review. Today we're looking at the Transformers Legacy Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus. So, as you guys may or may not have seen in a community post like a month ago, I'm not a big fan of the new Shattered Glass Magnus. And I know it sounds contradictory because I do like the New Age one, but the thing is, New Age does as many repaints as they can just to get mileage out of molds. And it was presented as just Delta Magnus, but it just has the head and a sword if you want to use it. It's not like trying to be like the definitive Shattered Glass Magnus. It's just like it's an option to get them to sell more copies. And B, they didn't have access to a Laser Prime mold because they're probably not going to do one. Though if they do one, I'm begging you please. Do Magnus again, do Prime again, I'll buy them both. So, you know, Hasbro having access to this mold, which granted it might not have been done by the time that they like planned out the Shattered Glass thing, but they could have at least waited. Like if they knew they were doing it, they could have waited just to do Magnus later. Like you could have been like the last one of the wave instead of the firsts, or like maybe a wave 3 would be nice. But anyways, it's enough exposition. So this is Legacy Laser Prime, which I didn't paint the trailer or the axe. I don't plan on painting the axe, but the trailer I am going to get to. Just, I forgot to buy more red paint because I want to paint the trailer red. I think it'd be a nice contrast with this, but it's just I forgot to buy it, so it'll happen eventually. I'll probably post it as a community post, or maybe I'll show it off in a video, like with something else. We'll see. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the figure, or at least first the paints. But just get them out of the way. Of course, I did use TS13 clear coat, and then just the light gray surface primer. The usual things, just get them out of the way. And then for sprays, I used blue, TS15 blue, TS86 pure red. I used some TS74 clear red. And then there are stickers and everything covering this, but I swear this is matte black. You can kind of see it. There's the matte. We're almost there. And then for hand paints, I used some red, flat black, blue, sky blue, lemon yellow, and finally chrome silver. So yeah, a lot of paints were involved in this one. Like this took me a good while, but that's partially because I had to keep waiting for paints because like I'd get some, then be missing one, and then I have to wait for that one. It's a whole cycle. But here he is in his truck mode, which I think looks really nice. Now, this custom isn't striving for one-to-one accuracy with the Fun Pub one as close as possible. Things were changed either because A, it would just be easier instead of having to paint the area and then just have to deal with shaving down or trying to figure out how to avoid paint chipping, or B, it was a stylistic choice just because G1 Laser Prime and Revealed the Shield Laser Prime are two very different Laser Prime designs, which I will vaguely explain later. But you can see here he's got the nice silver grille. He's got yellow lights here as a nod to how the Fun Pub one has like yellow on the front. Then he's got the stripe, which I was going to continue going down this, but then I realized the shape would be all weird because like it doesn't quite line up with that. So I just decided not to. But I think it's fine just being the single stripe there. He's got this whole bit painted with the blue, which these black is just the black this already was. And some nice like purpley reddy windows. Some blue there. And then the back here, like it is a little bit messy from spray painting, but I do think it still looks fine. But yeah, so this is spray paints, like the nose up here. And then the rest of it is actually hand paints. I did actually spray paint these, but I kind of messed up when spray painting, so I just go back over them with hand paints. But I can say they blend together pretty well. Like the hand paint's like a touch darker, but I think all in all, like, I mean on camera they look like the exact same color. But I do think it turned out really nice. And then the smokestacks here are still like the same, and so are the arms. And then with the legs, there's a weird issue that is only from this version because, you know, I swapped out the legs of Earthrise Prime a little bit around And so the pin to actually knock this out is partially blocked in here, which I'll show off a little bit more in robot mode, but like I had to like shave down the area just to get the pin out. So that was a whole fun conundrum. Oh, and then these black bits that are like the backs of the legs, you can't take that off. It's not like a one-way pin. That annoys me. I had to like tape off this whole thing. I used so much tape for this custom. It's insane. Yeah, anyways, that is pretty much it for truck mode, so let's go ahead and get him into his robot mode. And then here in robot mode, just, man, I think it all came together like really, really well. Like I just really like how this turned out. Would not be a custom that I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up one of my favorite customs of the year. But, we're halfway through, we'll see. But anyways, let's go ahead and get a quick look at the head, since I'm sure that is what most people are questioning. So, this is a head sculpt that was actually done by a TFW user by the name of Slick Prime. I don't know if you can, like, get more from him, but, I guess, I don't know, maybe shoot him a message if you're so inclined. Give him some, I'll give him some free traction, there you go. I did do a little bit of sanding to it, just to kind of smooth it out a little bit more. But I think even just as is, it's mostly fine. Besides, it's supposed to be mangled and messed up anyway, right? Which it does work for the transformation. What I've learned is I have to put the head like, let me flip this back. I have to put the head in like sideways, like kind of like that, and it works. And I've transformed it I think about 3 or 4 times now, and so far the antenna haven't broken or anything. Like the one that's short on that side was made to be that way, which I really don't mind. I think it just looks nice. I kind of wish they could have been more messed up, but just for the size and the fact that they're so thin, probably couldn't do it. But then the other paints on him, there's some areas on this that I just took the paint off. Like these are molded in red on the original toy, and so was this, and I just took the paint off. So it would match like this red, which even this, I think, mostly works with this. Like it's a tad different, but it just kind of looks like whenever Hasbro molds versus paints. And then the red here is the spray paint red, but this is just the hand paint. Then of course I added some flat black into the arms just to kind of give it some dimension going on, some silver here to homage the look of the original, the official one. Oh, and what I meant by the leg thing is that like these pins, which here, I'll go ahead and grab my Laser Prime. It's my unmodded one, except for the fact that he is now dual wielding axes, because the sword I got with that one had like a big stress mark in it, and is now just cracking and breaking. Like it's just, here it is. It's gonna be upgrade kit. It's fine. But the knee here, how it's sculpted, you can't actually access the other side of the pin. So I had to like shave this down a little bit just to get it to work. So if you decide to paint this figure and you have to remove the knee, or have to move the knee down, just be warned. And then also another area to worry about is like right here, how the leg moves up, because on the regular Laser Prime, it is like if you just do it like straight, it's like very right. If you do it like right here, it's very clashy. You can only get that far. Whereas this one, I had to shave down a little bit, so it could go. And by a little bit, I mean a good bit. Like very shaved down here to the point to where there's like a gap in the chest right there, especially at the bottom. The tabs don't even do anything anymore. But that's more so for another issue we'll get into later. But I mean, you can hardly notice it. It's fine. I'll bring it back in for more later. But yeah, and then the chest, it's similar to the original, but I decided to redo it a little bit just because the G1 Laser Prime design that I have realized makes no sense. And ever since realizing this, my life's just kind of been ruined. So, like it's supposed to have the fake truck windows and the fake truck grill. And I'm guessing Hasbro was just like, well, we want to be recognizable as Optimus Prime, and that's like his thing. Which is fair, sure. But when like the actual front of the truck becomes, the shoulder stacks and the grill is a different color and it's fully visible, and then the windows are just right on the back and in a different shape, and even on the original one in a different color, because silver and blue, and then this is black and that's silver. It kind of messes up the design of Laser Prime a little bit. Whereas the Reveal the Shield one, it had to where the truck windows actually are the robot windows, and then the torso, it's not actually molded to be a grill, it's just robot abs. So yeah, that's a really dumb explanation that'll probably change your perspective about this design forever. Or you won't care. Like, I usually don't mind fake parts, but this time it's like, this kind of irks me a little bit. Anyways, I did also paint the missile pods. Like, the silver in here is like the original silver. I did this as a nod to how, like, it's clear on the original, or around the black, so I was like, well, it can be silver here. And since, you know, that's also silver instead of clear, which I actually prefer that. I don't like how the original head is clear, because you can't see any of the detail. But yeah, you can still open these up, and you get missile pods in here, which... Alright, the goal here was to try to spray them to where this is clear blue, and I used clear red, and I was trying to make clear purple, which, as you can see, did not turn out right. It's mostly just red. I think the most purple thing is, like, the windows, but even then, they're still mostly red. I don't really mind this either. Like, I think it still works. It's not what I was going for, but I think it's fine. Like, I still think it works for the most part with the design. It's just, I kind of wanted purple a little bit more. But oh well. Let's bring in just a couple of comparisons. For one, here he is with my Shatterglass Prime, the IW one. So you can see they do pair together pretty well, even though they're like 50% the same. Like, I try to make, since these are both the same color, I try to make them a bit different. Like, this one has the stickers there, whereas this one just has paint on the thighs. Like, it's more blank. I think that just kind of works. Helps me sleep at night. And once again, let's bring back in Laser Prime, so you can see. Again, most of the things were changed, like these and that. I just took the paint off of them to get to that result. And then, you know, like the tires are the same, and the arms are the same, and then like the piece to attach the head is the same. Oh, and I guess technically like the black up there is the same. I didn't bother. Figured it was fine. And I actually did try to take the blue off of the fists and the feet, because they're just painted blue, but they're molded in black. But the thing is, the same thing happened. I don't know if I mentioned it in the RC video, or in one of the custom reviews I did of that mold. But it's like, I try to take the paint off, and it doesn't come off all the way. It kind of like half stains the plastic. And it's only blue. Like, the red just didn't give me, like, any kind of trouble like that. Even with all the sculpted detail, like, it was just whatever. But then, like, the blue parts, the ones that are painted blue, like, I couldn't get all the blue off, so I had to go back over them with flat black. Just really weird. I don't know. Oh, yeah, and also, since I changed this since the last video, I painted his eyes yellow. I love it. Get it back there. And then let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Shatterglass Ultra Magnus, with the upgrade kits. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like a few things that are similar, like silver being on the thighs. I made sure these were silver too, and then let me get this off. So you can see that it's like black but then clear in the inside. I figured doing it like that would sort of homage it. And while I wish the sculpted head was more like closer to this, I am fine with how it looks. It's like, I kind of see this as more G1 Shatterglass Magnus, since it's basically what it is, because it doesn't have the boss engineering of the Reveal the Shield figure. But I do still love how it turned out regardless. And then just for funsies, since it's the closest way I can compare them currently, here is the New Age Shatterglass Magnus, which is, you know, very similar to the now IDW Shatterglass Magnus. Which, of course, like, I'll review and compare those when it comes out. But there you go. And one last thing that I have somehow forgotten to mention this entire video. The sword! I spray painted it with the clear red. So this is like a clear red blade. Again, the goal was purple. Kind of like the other one I have, but well. And then I painted the hilt with the matte black. I couldn't paint... Man, the camera is just not focusing. Come on. Thank you. I couldn't paint the handle since he has to hold it, but I do think it looks great otherwise. Which he can still hold like a champ. And I think he looks quite lovely with it. But yeah, so overall, I love this a lot more. I'll definitely still test it out if the new head can fit on this body, because I don't think it can, just because it looks really big, and even this head is like just barely works if you kind of fiddle with it a little bit. But even if not, I still love how this looks. If they ever make like an upgrade kit where you can swing the shoulder stacks around, I'm definitely gonna buy it for this version. But there's another one that gives the trailer like the missile pods and all that I'm definitely passing on. I am getting it for the other laser prime I have, but just not this one. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really wanted it to be like a big deal. I wanted it to be good, and it turned out great, and I love that. Couldn't ask for anything else, you know? And yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to say. So, be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can also come check out my Facebook and Tumblr pages, links in the description below. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.